Oh, we forgot to say, guys, there's a reason why these mics are not connected. It's a symbolic gesture because as Africans, our microphones have been disconnected for a very long time. We don't have voices. So we want to build and have a voice. All right. We're tired of having our microphones disconnected and not being heard. In Budapest.
Hey guys, man, welcome to Budapest Serial Chillers. This is the first podcast, episode 01.
Yeah.
Hey man, before I say anything, I just want to say this is a dream for me coming true, and it's something that I've been looking forward for a long time. So I'm actually very happy to have the first podcast with a very meaningful person to me, Chish chats.
Yo, hey man, thanks, hey Mufassah. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, man.
And thanks for
Together.
putting all of this together. I mean, we needed something like this. I definitely needed something like this. I actually was looking into getting into something like this. So I'm glad that you made the dream come true, dude.
Exactly, yeah.
Budapest Serial Chillers episode 1.
That's it, man. And I'm very happy that I even came across your page on Instagram, and I hit you up the day that we met, and I told you, man, come true. I want to have something I want to talk with you about. And then it was so cool that you were very friendly. You accepted my invitation. That I remember the first encounter with you at the Amapiano party.
Okay.
The piano seller hub and the same spot, bro.
Yeah.
And I felt your energy, and I just said, you'll be somebody that I would like to have this podcast with. And I was very interested also about your stories, on Instagram, and the whole Russian thing. I see you were doing a lot of beautiful things there with the African community. I think that was amazing, man. Everything that empower us, because I think we have been lacking out a lot, man.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's just a beautiful thing that we diasporans in Europe, we try to do something together, because I feel like there's no unity. Everyone is silos. We're very decentralized. But let's forget about that. I want to know about you, man. I just want to know, you have your own podcast, right?
Yeah. So just before I get into all of that about who am I and what I do, really, once again, thank you for actually putting this together, because just like you, I believe in building platforms. I believe in having spaces where young, Black, talented people can come and just have the opportunity. Look, even if you try and fail, man,
Exactly.
that's okay. It's fine. Fail, but have the opportunity to fail. And the fact that you're giving us the opportunity here to succeed.
Yo.
Yo, man, God bless. And funny enough, us meeting, what's crazy is that this is our third time meeting. The first time we met, like you said, at Tama Piano, right? The second time we met was when we met to discuss this podcast.
Yeah.
And this is the third time we're meeting, man. And I must say, it's all been love, it's all been energy, which is why, I'm here today.
Exactly,
and I'm
bro.
honored to be your guest.
It's an honor, bro. I just you came to Hungary 6 years ago.
6? Hey, bro, I'm not that old, man. Don't make me, don't make me old, bro. Hey, no, I came here about 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
As a student, right?
Yeah. So I came here. I did my master's in finance at the Corvinus University. I finished, and then I got a job in corporate.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you love it here so far?
Love. Love is a strong word. What I can say is that I love my life at all times. I try to love my life no matter where I am. And I can say that I have loved my life while being located in Budapest.
Man, see, I've been looking to talk to people, especially about living in Budapest. Because I came here 2013. It's been a journey. It's been a hell of a journey. But I would say balance, healthy and unhealthy journey. I just want to find out from different people. It's nice to listen to other people's story. What has been your experience since you came to Hungary? like Budapest and the whole?
I guess my experience has been mostly oriented around how I saw Budapest. So I saw Budapest as a place. Okay, just sort that out.
Oh fuck, man! My phone.
So I really saw Budapest as a place for me to try and give myself a new challenge. And I must say, Budapest has been that challenge. And it challenged me. Maybe it wasn't Budapest's fault, but you know, I've been in Budapest while we had the pandemic, you know, which was the biggest challenge for all of us. So yeah, I can say that Budapest has challenged me. I have enjoyed my time. Yeah, it's a very interesting city that it may look like there's. If you've lived here a bit, you might think that you know Budapest, but you never really know Budapest.
True. Even after 9 years, I feel like I don't know this place. But there are cities I've never visited. For example, Debrecen. Is it called
Debrecen?
Debrecen. I never know how to pronounce that name. It's very difficult, man.
You haven't been to Debrecen?
I've never been there, bro. Never in my life.
Where have you been here?
I've been to Edgar, Pech, Vesprem, but I've never been to. And the reason why I'm saying Debrecen was it's the second largest city in Budapest.
Okay.
In Hungary.
Okay.
After Budapest, that's the second largest.
Okay.
And they have a lot of students there, right?
But clearly, it's not big enough for you, huh?
But not from what I've heard, nothing's happening there. You know, in terms of, I mean, it's not the same like Budapest. I'm always attracted to where it's happening. I like the happening places.
And is it happening in Budapest? I don't know, man. Is Budapest happening? Tell me, is it happening? For you, like you, how you see it, how you see is it happening?
In what terms?
You see? Already by just saying that, it already tells me that, you know, there has to be certain conditions for it to happen in, you know, Budapest. It's a very lovely city and it's really lovely to be here. But I guess I haven't really tapped into the party scene.
No.
Yeah, I don't fuck with it that much.
Man, the problem is that you came at the wrong time. I remember the time we came here, we were killing it at Peaches and Cream, man.
I've been to Peaches and it is nice, but man, I feel like Budapest makes me feel like I'm in 2004 and I'm stuck, you know, and like the same music is just on repeat. That is literally how I feel when I'm in Budapest. I'm still hearing Usher's fucking Yeah in the club. I'm still hearing like songs by 50 Cent when he was still fit.
Which clubs?
Well, Instant is out, of course. I used to go to Blended. But even Blended, how can I put it?
This is a very interesting conversation now.
Yeah, even Blended. I didn't fuck with Blended that hard. One, they were catering to I assume they were catering to people that listen to Afro music. But there's no dance floor. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was the first, and also, for those of you that don't know, I have a background as an events organizer, and Afro events actually.
Yeah, I saw that on your page.
And Afro events. And I'm looking at this place and I'm like, why the fuck are we like dancing like this? You know, we're African, you know what I'm saying? We can't even like hold our girls nicely and dance with them because there's someone standing next to you. That was the first thing that put me off about Blended. The second thing was the slow. I don't want it to sound like I'm here to like trash Blended or whatever. But funny enough, it was the closest thing that I kind of had to a good time.
To home.
Yeah, to home. You know, so maybe I had expectations, maybe there was that, but it took long to get drinks as well.
Yeah.
You know, the drinks were so expensive, you know, and I'm just like, I feel like the club wasn't initially built for Africans, but then they realized that maybe Africans go there and then they're like, oh, okay, let's just, you know, double up. I don't know. That's how I felt about Blended. I don't know, man. I just felt it wasn't giving off that vibe and there wasn't that connecting, you know?
I remember the time that I came here, I think in 2013, 14, there was this guy, he had his own club here. In those days, they used to call it Savannah, but I don't think you guys remember it.
No, I mean,
Or
I
you
was
remember?
not.
Yeah, you were not here by then. They used to have this African club here, they called Savannah. That was where, I mean, it was a black-owned club. That was
Okay.
where we used to go hang out with. And it was, I don't know what happened. It didn't work out. But the guy opened another club in the percent. And I was like, I was a patron. Well, I love for us to develop,
Yeah.
in a positive way.
And that's the thing, like every time I kept going to Blended, I kept asking myself, okay, the owner surely can't be African. This just based on like the experience, just based on the club experience, I'm like, you wouldn't be African and conscious enough and like have the African sort of vibe in you and then still not realize certain things, So to me, it felt like a club that was owned by someone that isn't African and realized that, oh shit, I can make money off of Africans.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about Savannah and probably the vibe and the energy that was there, I don't know, I wasn't there, but clear, like now, even Metro are doing the same thing that Blended did, expensive drinks, but there, the difference is that they have a dance floor, you know what I'm saying? And that it covers up for everything.
So that's your place to go.
No, because now that goes to like now the DJs. The thing is, because I feel like because I've been doing events for a very long time, like when I go to someone else's event, of course I'm going there to enjoy and to have a good time, but I'm also going there as like I don't want to even say a competitor, but like as a student, I want to see what you're doing right, I want to see what you're doing wrong, and analyze for myself, like, okay, because I know that in the future I will also have my club or restaurant or whatever, So I go to these places to observe, okay, even something like the speed of getting the drink. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It was something I never ever thought of until one day someone came to me at one of my parties and he was like, yo, man, fuck, I could only like get like 2 beers the whole night because they were taking long. Then I'm like, shit, that's money that I lost. So
But I think that those are kind of feedbacks and complaints that it should be given. I think if you have had this kind of complaints for long, I think there should be a place where you can go, like, and tell maybe they can improve on it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean the fact that we're the Budapest serial chillers, and then we're serious about chilling.
Thank you very much.
I take my chilling very seriously. You know what I'm saying? So when I go to a place, I want to feel a certain type of energy to a point where it's like the music really doesn't matter that much. You could get to a place where, the vibes are just there.
Exactly, man.
But yeah, I didn't get that when I would go to.
For me, that I think there are a lot of beautiful places here. It really depends on. I think it depends on your vibe. But okay. I go to Metro sometimes. I like it. It's not. They play my kind of music.
Okay.
But I've always felt that there is something missing. You come from South Africa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how nightlife there is.
Yeah.
Especially there's a difference between taverns. Hey guys, before I continue, I didn't say where he's coming from. He's from South Africa. And one of the reasons I called him was I knew that he was from South Africa due to his name, your last name.
No, man.
Your first name.
None of my names are South African.
None of your names?
None of my names. When I'm in South Africa and I say I'm Chanda, they'll be like, Chanda? Chanda man. And I'm like, Chanda Chishimba. They're like, Chanda? So it's like, it's actually funny that when I was in Zambia, they would say, you are South African. When I'm in South Africa, they're like, you are Zambian. So I've always I've never known, what I identify as, because apparently I look South African. And then also apparently I look Zambian. So I don't know.
Wait, you say you look South Africans, but a lot of people cannot identify South Africans. How do South Africans look like?
Short. Short and skinny.
Or like in general?
No, I'm joking. But in general, but you know, actually, just a side note, I didn't realize I was short until I left South Africa. Really. When I left South Africa, then I was like, shit. But anyway, I wouldn't know what the actual South African feature is, but this is what I've been told, that like I'll meet people, I'll speak to them, then they'll be like, hey, Ibile, you're not even South African. I'll be like, yeah, I'm an import. I'm an import.
Representing,
like,
100%.
So
yeah. I live in SA for quite a long time, 9 years or 8 years, man. You know, when I came from SA to Hungary, I was here, bro. I was missing that.
But wait, before you go from SA to Hungary, did you have culture shock going from Cameroon to South Africa?
Well, that's a very good question. The problem is I grew up in Germany, you know. Yeah, so as I grew up in Germany as a kid, from 6 years old to I left Germany probably when I was like in my 14, 15. So for me, it was a cultural shock because I came from another African country. And I was comparing SA with where I came from Cameroon.
Okay. But wait, when were you in Cameroon? When were you in Germany?
I was in Germany from 1990 up to 1999.
Wait, so where in Germany were you?
It was, okay, we were in the capital, Bonn. And then from there
in Berlin?
No, Bonn.
Bonn
was the former capital.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask, because I was like, you were there during the Soviet occupation then?
No,
1990? Wasn't that
the wall? They had the wall. They had the Berlin Wall.
Okay.
I think they had the Berlin Wall.
No, of course. But I mean, you were there when the wall was still up.
Yeah, 1990. I think that's when the wall just came down. Because,
yeah, somewhere there.
Yeah, 1990. I think the wall just came down because all the embassies were in Bonn.
Okay.
Then we moved to Meckenheim. It's a very small town, like small town, like 1 hour away from Bonn.
Did they ever beat you up for being black? It's like you're trying to think of a reason. No, they didn't really hit me.
No,
it was just a game we used to play with everyone kicks me.
Not hit me, not beat me, but they threatened me quite a lot. A lot of times, I was threatened. But you know, it's a normal thing, bro. If you live in Germany, there's no black person that lived in Germany in the 1990s. I was not threatened. I was not abused. So for me, I don't even see like it was.
It was normal.
It was normal. Yeah,
you were not like, oh, you were just like, oh shit.
At that time, it was different because I didn't understand.
Do you know what it's like? It's like crime in South Africa. You know, where like someone can, like you can come and say, hey, dude, they fucking stole my car. And like, if someone in Europe said to me, yo, dude, they stole my car, my mind would explode. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Shit, there must be a war going on, whatever. But in South Africa, it's like, hey, hard boy, let's just get some whiskey. Hey, maybe, I don't know, we can retweet. But it's normal, So I think even for you, when you were in
Meckenheim,
yeah. I'm sure it was normal that, you'd receive some 1 or 2.
Of course, bro. It's a small town. Man, I have beautiful memories there. I was a kid. I enjoy. Meckenheim is a small town where most people that live there are older generation of people, very conservative people. Okay. So there in Meckenheim, without no fear or favor, I would say that Meckenheim is one of the most beautiful cities in Germany I've ever been. I had adorable moments there, bro. Unlike the other cities like Bonn, the reason why we left Bonn is because it was a racist city. Yeah, imagine that. So my parents believed that it was better for us to move to a smaller city and integrate. But Bonn was not the place because it was the capital and they had a lot of neo-Nazis there. It was not safe for someone that is working in the embassy to live in Bonn.
So did you break your virginity in Meckenheim?
No. Okay. Come on. Come on.
At home.
At home, bro. In Germany, it was just normal things. Kissing.
Yeah. And just
But
but
bro.
in Cameroon.
That's where the shit happened, bro.
Okay. So in Cameroon, you got a room.
Yeah.
Okay.
At home.
At home. What was the setting? Was she someone from school? Was she from your church? Because these church girls, bro. Church. Church. Because there's a line by Kanye West.
Huh?
He says, and I love this line so much. He says, if you chase pussy, it's a sin. But if it falls on your lap, it's a blessing. So maybe the church girls, she can be a blessing. So was it a church girl?
No, it wasn't a church girl. It wasn't a church. I mean, I think my mom is going to be watching this. She won't be happy. I swear to God, man.
Hey, mama,
I'm very sorry if you see this, man. I have to.
Are you gonna say it's her best friend or what?
Hey, I wish.
Auntie,
I wish.
Auntie.
I wish. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. He was an older person.
Okay.
It's someone that was older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened. To be honest with you, I don't even remember it. But it didn't mean much to me. To be really honest with
you. It sounds like this person maybe violated you, bro.
I don't know.
You could be reporting a case live.
I don't know.
Live on this podcast.
Yeah, but I think I did enjoy it a little bit.
You did or you didn't?
A little bit, bro.
I think for guys, like the first time is just to get out of the way. Just to move on. Just to...
Yeah, bro, I think I'll be over... As small beginner, my skin be over hot.
You
understand?
what?
No, my skin be over hot. I'll be over hot. You understand? No. Hi, small Pekin. My skin be over hot.
So anything, pillow,
brother.
woman.
Bro, I say anytime when they go, now any small fighting in day, and then they
chop them. Any small thing where they walk past, where they feature, you just.
Baby, see, to be honest with you, when we came back, I mean, when you come back from a country like that to Cameroon, sometimes I think in my country where I come from, Cameroon, it's back in the days when we came back, I think people used to look at you a certain type. I don't know if you guys have that in South Africa, but I know that if somebody came from you overseas to South Africa, it doesn't mean anything to them. But in Cameroon, back in the days, when you come back from overseas to Cameroon, people look at you like a certain way. They call you bushfala.
Bushfala.
You've heard that name before?
Like bourgeoisie or what?
Something like that. A bushfala is like somebody who has been to abroad. It's like a prestige.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't see anything like a prestige. What does it mean for me?
But that's because you've been on the other side.
Maybe, but
yeah.
I mean, for you living in Europe, do you think it's when you go back to SA, do you feel like it's a thing for you to be abroad?
I think yes, it really is. I won't lie to you. I don't like, and I mean I don't like leading with that. So I'll never meet people and say, I'm Chanda, I lived in Russia, I live in, you know what I mean? Like, but so because of that, like, I'll see that as soon as my friends will mention that, hey, this guy, Diman on Budapest, now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should, scheme him, whatever. And like, it kind of changes people's sort of perception of me because they're like, oh, fuck. This guy, you know what I mean? He lives abroad. Like what you're saying, he's a bushfella.
Exactly.
And for us, it's like, dude, what the fuck? There's nothing that makes me any different, except what I've seen. But there's literally nothing. But for them, it's like, yo, they can even think that you think that you're better than them.
Exactly. That's the thing. For me, I would say the only difference is that, okay, maybe you had the opportunity to get a visa. Maybe you had the opportunity to get the access of finances to fly to overseas. But I know that there are a lot of people in my country that they wish to come abroad. They wish, their dream is to leave Cameroon. And well, I see a lot of people spend tons of money, man, and they never get to come abroad.
Yeah.
So for me, looking at it from that perspective, I would say, yeah, it's a little bit sad because there are people in my country that they just leave to go abroad.
Yeah.
You know, and no matter what you tell them, if you go home, if you go to my country and go and tell somebody that abroad is not what it is, they think that maybe you're a hater. They think maybe you're jealous because you've been there. Yeah, you don't want them to go there. You're blocking their way. So I think if anybody wants to go abroad, they should go.
They should.
There should be an opportunity for everyone to go abroad and experience it. If it's not what... Well, I remember when I was in SA, there used to come a lot of people from Cameroon to SA and they went back to Cameroon.
Yeah.
Because the dream they had about South Africa was not what it is. It wasn't what it is.
Shattered. No, and that, dude, that's the thing. Like, the grass always looks green on the other side. You know.
But for me, it has always been one of my dreams to visit South Africa. But I remember when we went to Germany, in my passport, it was written there, you can travel to every country except SA. And I never understood as a kid why couldn't I go to South Africa. As a child, I didn't know about the apartheid in South Africa. So I'm 6 years old, traveling to Germany, and I never saw my passport because it was my parents. But when I got to see my passport the first time in my life, I saw at the beginning of the page, travel to every country except South Africa. And I was wondering why.
Dude, man, and funny that I just wanted to comment on you saying that Cameroonians want to leave. In South Africa, most South Africans want to stay in South Africa. They don't even think about leaving South Africa. You know, it's only now that people are seeing that, okay, shit, the country's on fire. You know, so we really need to make a plan. But in terms of the apartheid government, yeah, those guys, hey man, I would say that South African whites are very different. You know, and I don't know if it's because they lived in Africa for so long or something, but they have a special way of also hating black people. Not all of them, but South African white people have a really, like, I don't know how to put it, man. Like, and of course I don't want to say like everybody, because one of my best friends is a white guy from South Africa. My brother, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've had great coaches who I consider like father figures, you know, and mother figures, you know, but I really those are not the people I'm addressing this to. I'm addressing it to the people that make it their mission to make black people uncomfortable, you know.
Yeah, I know those ones.
Africa.
I know those ones.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so sad to see because, one, there's a lot we can do together. There's a lot more we can do together.
That's true.
You know. Two, there's no power that we have as black people to sort of really change this. Actually, we do have the power, but we don't have the unity, you know, to change that situation. And this is not to say to now have another group oppressing another group, but it's just to have our own resources, you know. Look at what happened now with Russia and America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? America cut off everything. McDonald's, they took away McDonald's, your Burger King, your MasterCard, your what else? What else? The TikTok.
Yeah, but
I think they took TikTok.
Economic sanctions, huh?
Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, Russia already had alternatives. Do you know what I'm saying? So in terms of the Visa, MasterCard, they have this Mir card. There's, instead of YouTube, there's YouTube.
China is the alternative.
You know, but I mean, like, just on a practical sort of resource level, maybe the alternatives are not as good, but they have alternatives. And I'm like, as black people in South Africa and black people in general, if they cut us off, whoever decides to cut us off, we are cut off.
That's true, you're right, bro.
You know, like, we will have absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, you know. So, yeah, going back to South Africa, that is what is sad, is that
but even though
the supplies are in...
Just a second. Even though you guys have absolutely nothing, but you guys still have much more better than where I come from, Cameroon.
Yeah.
You understand? So for me, coming from Cameroon, in SA, is like big shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, The first time I arrived in Johannesburg, damn it. Oh, man, I look at the airport and say, hey, where am I, man?
Yeah.
Oh, Tambo.
Yeah.
Shit. But that place is beautiful. Then now, my friend had to pick me up, but he didn't show up, you know. And so I was
And
like,
this was back in the days. I'm sure you had to write a letter before you.
2000. I came to SA 2007. Yeah, 2007. So the guy had to pick me up, and he didn't pick me up. So I saw one dude there, and he was like, the guy, he saw that I was confused because somebody told me that if you arrive in OR Tambo, you know this thing of traveling abroad and people are advising you and telling you all those kind of things. You know, it was the first time for me to travel by myself.
Okay.
To a foreign country.
Hey, wait, how old were you at this time? 2007.
2007. I'm born in 1984. Do the maths.
1984, 16, you were 23.
23. Yo. So my friend didn't pick me up, and someone told me that if you arrive in OR Tambo and you spend 1 hour at the airport, immigration is going to pick you up. I was like, but why would they pick me up? I have a visa to go to South Africa. Why would they want to pick me up? I have a legal visa to go to South Africa. Yeah, so people always give you this scary stories. Like, you know. So when I arrived, I saw one dude, and the guy said, hey, are you okay? I said, I'm looking for a phone. I want to call my friend, because I had my friend's number written on a piece of paper.
It was those days, bro.
So he gave me his cell phone, and I called my buddy, Gaddafi. His name is Kevin. From Bali, Kevin. Bro, peace to you. So I called him. He told me, he asked me to give the phone to the driver. He spoke to him. He gave him the address, and we showed up. Bro, on my way driving to Pretoria.
Yeah, just like.
You know what the guy told me? Welcome to United States of Africa. I said, where are you from? I said, from Cameroon. He said, welcome to the United States of Africa. It's nice, man. It's nice. I said, hey, which one is this one? What is this?
And for real, it's nice. Man, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I was approaching Pretoria, and I saw the UNISA, the building there.
And
you know,
when you're going to Pretoria, and it's there in the hills.
Yeah, at night. You know, I was entering, and I was just, well, for me, it was
just like, wow.
Yeah.
Jimmy from Cameroon.
Yeah, but I came from Cameroon, but the problem is that you don't understand what I'm talking about, because you've never been to West Africa. I will take you to Cameroon. Understand, to where, I'm not saying that my country is like terrible, but I'm talking in terms of development in Africa.
I've been to Zambia quite a number of times, and just the difference between Zambia and South Africa also. I'm like, I'm happy that I grew up in South Africa, legitimately speaking.
But the cab guy took me to my friend's place, and it was an address, like the street address, number, everything. I was like, what is this? Where am I, man? This is Africa? Well, I came from Cameroon. We don't have those kind of things there, you know. If somebody say, come to my house, you have to give him direction that at the mango tree.
Yeah, then you turn right.
And then you see the house under this pear tree. But not there. You see a junction. That's how you give direction to people in Cameroon.
You see a pink house. After that, you see that pink house. You say 1, 2, left.
Bro. It's very simple. Easy just. The cab guy went and dropped me in Pretoria West. I just got out. I saw my friend was euphoria, so happy. I haven't seen my classmate for so many years. Hugged him. Bro, I was exhausted, you know, traveling. The guy took me to his apartment, gave me nice porridge. Nice porridge. And we just caught up. Well, I had a beautiful time in SA, man. I won't lie to you. I had ups and downs, but I learned so much in South Africa. The time I spent in SA, I learned so much. But there's one particular thing I would like to ask you, bro.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about this xenophobia thing.
Okay.
Because when I was SA in 2007, the first xenophobia I witnessed was around that time as well.
Okay.
In 2000, was it 2008? The first outbreak of xenophobia.
I think I would be lying if I gave you dates, but it might be around that period.
I want to ask you, what's your opinion about this thing? Because for me, I was there when the first outbreak, but I never got to experience it that much because it didn't affect me.
Well, what I will say is that my experience, because remember, my name is Chanda Chishimba, growing up in South Africa. So I would get like, people that I know or like aunties or uncle. Mostly, actually, funny enough, it would come mostly from aunties who'd use words like lekwerekwere. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
And I'd be like, when
that's
I
my
was
name, Makoekwe.
when I was younger, I was just like, okay, ke lekwerekwere, fine, whatever. But now that I'm old,
Makoekwe means you smelling, eh?
no, it means well, it might maybe the actual definition means that you're smelling. I don't know, but I know that it means that you're a foreigner.
Yeah, like, okay, just like you're a foreigner.
Yeah, that's how I know it. I don't know if like the actual translation means
Somebody told me that it means you're smelling because, like, they said, I don't know if it's true. They said because of the Zimbabweans that come to South Africa and they are walking for long on the roads and they sweat, something like that.
I don't, and and sometimes now you'd find that maybe that's why sometimes people would say that maybe I look South African, because they have this stereotype of how African foreigners look, like smelly or like dark.
Exactly, yeah.
Super dark, those kind of things. And those are not positive things. There are
Exactly,
no positive
yeah.
stereotypes that they have.
That's true, yeah, bro.
So that's why I say, like, for me, I would just get episodes where, like, like I'm just like, hey, but actually, hey, man, that was actually not the right thing to say to someone,
Exactly.
But at the same time, South Africans are also very accepting because we also do have we have the largest amount of African immigrants in Africa.
Yeah.
There's no other African country that hosts that many people.
That's true.
Both
You're right.
legal and illegal. So there are large parts of the country that have learned to live with other Africans. But the problem also is not just the fact that they are African, but Black people in South Africa, we are fighting so many battles. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of battles that we're fighting. And it's economic battles, it's injustice, it's this and that. So, and we're always being told what to get angry at by the media. They told us to get angry at Jacob Zuma. Whether he's good or bad, I don't know. You'll decide for yourself. But they told us to get angry at him. They told us to trust whoever it is that is the next whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're always telling us, get angry at ESCOM. Okay, now get angry at ANC. Okay, look at EFF. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So you find that in those cycles, they'll say, okay, now let's go for the foreigners and say, hey, let's do this. But on the other side, while accepting that, yes, South Africans can be xenophobic, there is a huge problem of crime from South Africans and from foreigners. What's worse when it comes from foreigners is that now it's a ghost who committed the crime because we don't even know who that person is. They're not registered. Do you know what I mean? So I think there also has to be a responsibility that, or acknowledgement that people take from both sides that, yes, South Africans are accommodating, but they're also unaccommodating. And yes, there are foreigners who are, or I don't like using the word foreigners, but there are other brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, who may also be involved in illegal acts.
That's
Two
true,
things can, you know what I'm saying? Like, there can be more than one reality. But what you find is that now people are saying, nah, South Africans are xenophobic. That's all, And then they're saying, then South Africans are like, okay, fuck you guys. These guys are criminals, So now there's no middle ground to actually say, okay, since you guys are accommodating, since you guys, want to work together with South Africans, let's work together too. We'll protect you guys from the unaccommodating South Africans, and then we'll help you guys find the illegal foreigners who are committing crimes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We can work together to do that. But now that nobody's listening to anybody, and it's just like, hey, fuck you. So.
Yeah, but for me, I think that the whole I don't know about North Africa, but I think that the entire Africa, they all are suffering from economic problems.
Yeah.
The entire Africa, we're having a lot of problems mentally. Because you know that we were colonized for many years, bro. And you guys were also you guys have gone through your own problems. And for me, being in SA was because, bro, I was just trying to make it, man. And I come from a country and things were not working out economically. I just said to myself, I'm not gonna stay here and be miserable. My friend was in South Africa. He told me that he's making it here. You know,
what was he doing?
He was working in an IT shop.
Okay.
He was like doing this repairs of IT and everything, computers. So, and he was very successful. He had a lot of customers. Back in the days, IT business was very good. Talk shop. You know, a lot of people had that shop. They have this. Some of my friends had shebeens, you know, and they were making it, you know. So, but when I went to SA, I was a barber.
Okay. Yeah, I think you told me.
Yeah, I was shaving hair, man. That's why I was making my runs.
Yeah. Your Mandelas.
My Mandelas, bro. So I just think that for us as Africans, we have to do more better, bro. Because we need to come. We cannot be fighting each other. One thing I've really admired living in Europe is that I see the way these people are very united.
United, yes.
No matter what happens to them, like even this situation that's happening right now, they are working behind doors and they're trying to solve it by all possible means. Because for them, it's an embarrassment.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very serious embarrassment.
Yeah.
But for we Africans, we have it's our normality.
Yeah.
You know, whatever is happening with us, we are fighting each other. It's very, very normal. And when I was in SA, when this thing happened or whatever happened, I felt bad. I felt a little bit sad, you know, whatever. But I know the situation. Notwithstanding, to be honest, I feel right now where we are getting there. Because the young people like you, me, and every young person out there that are trying to do something, they're on a huge platform. There was this girl here in Hungary. Her name is Melon. She's having her own. Yeah, you know her, right?
Yeah. She's got her brand.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shout out to Melon.
Melon, yeah.
Shout out.
I mean, there are a lot of beautiful people here from SA and from there are a lot of beautiful people from Africa doing beautiful things here, like in Opsy,
shout out
Nigeria.
To Willie's Barbershop.
To
Willie's.
Hey, Willie's,
shout out to Willie's.
And Victor as well.
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know Victor. I don't know who's Victor. But shout out to Victor.
Victor is the other guy. He has a football academy in Hungary.
Victor has a football. You mean Bright?
No, Victor. Hey. He has the other barbershop. And the guy that shaves me, his name is Darian from Cuba.
Okay, no, shout out to him,
yeah, Victor. Yeah, man.
Shout out to Kingston's Kitchen.
And DJ Emperor.
Shout out to DJ
my guy.
Shout out to DJ Emperor.
And Coffee.
Shout out Coffee.
Yeah, I mean, and Naledi.
Shout out Naledi.
Opsy.
Which Naledi?
Naledi Kube.
Mube.
Yeah.
So it's not Melon Mube. But anyway, shout out to Naledi.
Naledi. Opsy Young.
Shout out.
Kenneth. The guy that's doing the gym thing, no?
Shout out to Kenneth.
From Uganda.
Shout out to Kenneth doing the gym thing, dog. I don't even know you, but I fuck with you. You doing the gym thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keeping it G in the gym. You good. You great. You G, man. Who else?
And all the names that we did not mention, don't worry, man.
There's one more name that has held me down, and I have to say it.
Who's that?
Africa Buffet.
Hey!
Shout out. Shout out to Africa Buffet. Shout out.
Last year, man. During the Corona time, man. That was our food.
Hey. You guys held me down.
Hey.
Africa Buffet. Bro, you know sometimes on Vault, I'll even just say, please just add extra meats. And when I open, I see extra meat. Hey, shout out to Africa Buffet. Bro.
Extra meat, bro. Hey. Oh, so, man.
Yeah. No, there's people doing some really, really beautiful. Shout out to Africa Plus. Shout out to Africa Plus out in Russia, St. Petersburg. Shout out to the boys.
Shout out to all the African Plus, bro.
Yeah. Keep it on. Shout out to Exto. Shout out to Black Snow. Shout out, man. Shout out to everybody. And yeah, I think that's enough. What other shout outs? Who else is there?
Bro, we're going to shout out everyone. In fact, everyone is gonna be on this show as we ride on.
Guys, what we want
to get stories, crazy stories. We don't give a fuck.
the Budapest
Talk about
serial
everything.
chillers were here. You know what I'm saying? We're serious about chilling. So if you're serious about chilling and you want to chill with us, then let's chill, man. Before we continue, I want you to tell me what's your craziest story here in Budapest?
Damn, dog.
What is your craziest? Do you have a crazy story? Because I don't have a crazy story. You know, so
bro,
like,
I don't know if it's acceptable to say these things on camera, but I used to, back when I came to Hungary,
you had to make some money.
Hey, bro, that's always the goal.
That's the thing. But the how now?
Economic migrants.
Economic.
I'm just kidding. I came to Hungary to study, so whatever. But the craziest story I would say
I came to Hungary to study as an economic migrant.
Together, everything,
But I have another story which was even crazier. Dude, so I used to MC and I go to this house party and there are these guys shooting this YouTube, whatever, blah, blah, blah thing. And they're like, so the guy who was hosting the house party is American. And he hired me. And he was like, hey, these guys want to interview you. Please come through. So I go to these guys. Then they're like, hey, so they're interviewing me. Where are you from? They didn't even ask me where you're from. They're just like, how's the party? How's it going? I'm like, it's cool. Then they're like, I'm sure you feel like you want to steal a car, huh? So I'm like.
It was like a joke, a bad joke.
I was like, you know what? Let's run through it. So I'm like, what do you mean? That's always my go-to question. What do you mean? He's like, no, because, you're American, so you probably want to steal a car. Then I'm like, okay, I'm going to take what you said. Fine. This guy's American.
Hey, Crumpy.
Hey, Crumpy. You're not
That's
American.
That's our buddy, man.
You're not American.
Hey, Crumpy.
So this guy's like, he's like, no, because you're American, you probably want to steal a car. Then I'm like, okay, cool. Let's imagine I'm American. Fine. This guy's American and he was a white guy. I'm like, did you ask him if he feels like stealing a car? He's like, no. And I'm like, okay, so then why would you say, if we're both Americans, why did you say that to me? He's like, no, because you look like a gangster. Then I'm like, okay, cool, fine. Let's assume I look like a gangster, right? Am I dressed like a gangster? No. Do I behave like a gangster? No. So why would you think that I want to steal a car?
Exactly.
At this point, I just see the cameraman putting the camera down, because you could see that now I'm cornering him because I want him to say he's a racist asshole. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, look, dude, you shouldn't ask and say to people things like that because you're going to meet guys that are not me, and that are going to actually just fuck you up.
Exactly, yeah.
For me, like I said, I don't have the energy and the willpower to go and beat people up who are racist to me because I'm going to be fighting every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be like, oh, this person, he was looking at me when I was in the metro. Then I'm going to go, you know what I'm saying? It's going to happen too much, I mean, even in South Africa, you can experience racism.
That's true, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Even back in Cameroon.
Even in Cameroon, you can experience. So for me, I just don't have that energy to deal with it. So even in these situations, that's why, for me, what I love about my questions is that these guys themselves realize that they are actually just assholes or misinformed.
That's true.
Because I'm not fighting with you. I'm saying, okay, let's dig deep into what do you mean when you say that, then you end up saying that, well, actually, I was just saying that because you're black. Okay, now we can work. Where did you get that info from? Is it info from social media? Is it info from newspaper? Is it you know what I'm saying? How did you get informed into, because you find that even some of these people's role models are black because people love basketball. They love LeBron James. They love Steph Curry.
They love Jordans.
They love Jordans.
Dope stuff, man.
They love Kanye West. They love Off-White. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's
so
up.
How can you love those things and then still come and ask a question like that? You know what I mean?
Man, I think in terms of entertainment, we're killing it. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
There's one thing I think that living in Hungary, a lot of Hungarians, especially young people, they can learn Well, I see that the younger generation of Hungarians, they are dope.
Fucking dope.
They are fucking dope, bro.
Yeah. Even the young Russians. Shout out to the young Russians as well. They're fucking dope.
Like, for example, the Amapiano.
Yeah.
The Amapiano stuff that is happening in SA. I like what we're doing here in Hungary right now. I see a lot of Hungarians that are tapping. So what do you think about this Amapiano wave that's happening right now? Like,
unstoppable. And I just, I won't lie to you. I am trying to find my place in that wave. Do you know what I'm saying? I also want to be at the forefront.
But you feel the fire?
I feel the fucking fire. Dude, I feel the fire. Shout out to Esther West her.
Hey.
I don't
Esther
know.
West.
Esther West.
Esther Nemet.
Nemet. Dude.
My personal person.
Your personal. I didn't. You know when I met her? At Amapiano Hub.
Piano seller?
The first time I met her, we didn't even meet. It was just like, I think it was just vibes. Because even that party, do you know that I came alone? I told you.
Bro, she's a beautiful soul, bro.
Beautiful person, beautiful soul. Then we just connected on Instagram and like, we'll just vibe and just like say, hey, I agree with your status or I agree with whatever. And she loves piano. Bro, so shout out to her, dude.
She has been pushing Amapiano for like, she has been helping me push this Amapiano in Hungary. And last time she got a repost from DBN Gogo.
No, she's dope. She's really, really dope. And like,
I love her swag, bro.
She's an example of what you're talking about, where young people are refusing to live within the norms.
Exactly.
Same in Russia, dude. I went to Russia. I lived in Russia from 2014 till 2019. There were hardly any Afro parties. You wouldn't even see any Afro dance anywhere. You know what I mean? There was hardly any hip hop. By the time I left Russia, there were Afro festivals. There's Afro dance workshops almost everywhere. There's even a hip hop radio station. National radio that you switch on in your car in fucking Russia, where they're playing fucking nigga music, bro.
For real?
For real. I was like, what the? Mind blown, So and this is just young people.
But hip hop in Russia is big, man.
It's huge.
Well, there's this guy from Cameroon in Russia.
What's his name?
He's a billionaire. I don't know if he's a millionaire.
Walter Larousse.
Walter Larousse. I love that guy, man.
Me too. Walter Larousse.
With a black star.
Walter Larousse.
And he's swag, bro.
Walter, and dude, do you know
the guy's swag, bro?
Do you know people never understand me when I say that when I get my millions, I want to chow my millions in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Because even when I look at Walter, just bruh.
Clean. Cameroon, bro. Cameroon to the
shout out to Walter
the top,
Larousse.
Man.
Shout out to Blackstar. Walter, clean.
Walter Larousse.
Yeah, clean. Your wife, clean. Kids,
beautiful
clean.
Family, beautiful swag. Man.
Clean.
Man, I love. Man, that's like someone I look up to, in terms of your positivity.
Me too.
And hustle.
Dog, I love that he's a successful black man with a beautiful family.
In Russia. What are the odds, bro?
What are the odds? Honestly, he's one of the people that inspired me as well while I was in Russia to keep pushing what I was pushing. Because if you look at when that guy started with Timothy and you see how they were looking, you wouldn't believe that these are the same guys.
But we need more Walter Larousse in the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
Not individuals, but we need all black people.
I'll be joining you soon. This one's for Walter.
For sure, man. This is for him, man.
Yeah.
Walter Larousse.
Uniting Africa. And I think, that's a great way to wrap our first episode up with some inspiration, with some serious chats, with some really nice vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you want to say before?
No, I just want to say to all the African people here in Hungary, man, all the sisters out there, all the brothers out there, there are a lot of beautiful African people that I've got to meet. Amazing people. I don't know them personally, but I've seen them from a distance, and I like their vibe.
Yeah.
They are just very pure, organic people.
Yeah.
You can see in their eyes. I just want to say, we need to come together and we need to unite and do things.
Yeah.
We need to make a name. We need to make a noise. Let people get to know us. Let's
Let's make a
exploit.
noise,
Let's experiment with
Let's
each
make a
other.
noise,
Let's see. Let me fuck with you. You fuck with me. Let's see what gifts you got. Let's empower each other and progress. And then we take that and go back home in Africa and fucking build Africa, bro.
No, amen to that. All I can say is I agree with you 100%. And congratulations on the first episode. Thanks for having me. And to many more.
Many more, bro. Many more. Cheers to that, bro. Thank you very much for coming.
Budapest Serial Chillers, episode 1, done and dusted. Amen.
Peace out.
Ushi!
Hey.